Well, hey everybody, and welcome back to another episode of El Barrito Mico de Tico. I'm your host, El Barrito Mico de Tico, and I'm so happy to be with you today. I know it's been a while since my last video, and for that, I do apologize. But let me tell you, there has been inner growth and alchemy unlike anything I've ever experienced before. It's been wild lately. Lots of changes in my environment, in the people in my life. Sometimes they come, sometimes they go. For example, right now, my mom had to go back to the United States of America, Estados Unidos. And I have the grand opportunity of living here with my dad. And truthfully, you know, I wasn't expecting any of this. One moment, I was in my mom's lap, and the next moment, she was gone, and I stood on my papa's lap, just surfing the waves, not wondering where I was going, but I knew somewhere in my heart that I was safe. And so I got home that night, and I cried some more. My dad tried to help me, but he was just kind of annoying me, and I realized, wow, I am going through some major separation depression right now. And I fell asleep with tears coming down my face, and I woke up the next morning and had lots of boogers in my eyes. And my dad had to help me clean that off, and I didn't really like that because I'm not so familiar with him. I mean, I am now, but at the beginning, when my mom left, it was really tough. For only about one to 2 days, and then everything kind of leveled out. But I'm doing much, much better now. Okay, so today I wanted to talk to you about not only the inner perceptions that have come to light within me, but also the change in circumstance in my life that has really forced me into this new episode of growth and expansion. So as I mentioned, my mom's back in the States, and I'm here in Costa Rica with my papa. My dear my dear friend Don Rudy is actually living alone now. He got his own place. He's only 200 meters down the road from where I live with my dad, and he has his own apartment. It's in a beautiful place, lots of green, and he's learning basically how to cohabitate in the same area as another person. He doesn't share an apartment with this person, but is directly below him and has some interactions over the last few weeks that have really shaped Papa Rudy's perception on people that he wants to be in his life. And I think most of this has to do with something that Papa's cohabitator exudes, which is something we've all had to confront within our lives sooner or later. Well, not for everybody. Some people go to the grave with this type of mentality, and I'm speaking specifically of what's known as poverty consciousness. Now, in poverty consciousness, there are deep-seated origins for this level of programming. And I know it may be confusing. I know it may be confusing because when I say consciousness, all I'm referring to is a state of mind, a quality. And this consciousness, referred to as poverty consciousness, has its origins in deep-seated security and safety issues. You could call it root chakra issues. This poverty consciousness tells people, makes them believe that not only is there not enough to go around, but they don't even have enough for themselves. And so this breeds basically a complacent state of mind in which not only do you never have enough, but you're constantly in the future living in this state of anxiety of never not having enough. And it ultimately just recreates a person's reality to attract those circumstances, conditions, and people in their life that only affirm this reality. Now, I've been realizing within myself that I don't have poverty consciousness. In fact, I come from Russia, and Russia is a really cold place. But thankfully, all my needs were met, more or less, when I was a child. I mean, that's why I'm here. And I'm feeling a lot of sympathy and compassion for my dear friend, the person cohabitating with my friend Rudy. And I realized that he is asking for healing in one way, shape, or form by attracting me into his life. That's right. Simply by being my cute, loving, adorable self, I transform people. I've seen it happen many, many times. My dad's one of them. Now, as I learn more about my own powers to change the consciousness of people or to help them change their own consciousness, I'm seeing how the poverty consciousness mindset is widespread. In fact, I don't know many people that don't have some form of poverty consciousness to a degree. Because, let's face it, when you live in the matrix, you either have to wake the hell up and realize what's going on and relinquish the poverty consciousness and start creating reality from a state of abundance, regardless of whether or not you physically have it in your own 3D reality. It has to be originated from somewhere. And what better way to do it than through your purpose and your intent? And with focus, of course. I say this because I'm witnessing amazing alchemy occurring all around me due to not only my papa's energy, but my energy as well. And just being around one another, we exude a consciousness that is inclusive and regenerative and patient and loving. And that's ultimately why I'm here. And I know that's why my dad's here too, because he does the best he can from moment to moment. And he always reminds me that not only is there enough to go around, but I also have enough to share. Now, I've tried offering my food to people. They don't really want it, nor are they interested in it. So I think the tables are turned for me because I'm always interested in what they're eating, but they're not so interested in mine. So, I don't know. It's a weird thing. So, my purpose in this long video is merely to raise awareness of this state of consciousness that's rooted in a lack-based mentality. Now, you may ask, well, how can I create something out of nothing? Well, the key lies in your breath. Your breath is a physical manifestation of the inspiration of your depth of connection to Source. When your breath is low and slow in the belly and very full, then the chances of you manifesting the conditions to reflect that state of being and depth of breath are very high. In fact, it's the law. What you put out is what you get back. As we all know, this is nothing new. This has been around for a long time. But as compared to, say, the law of attraction, what's required in this instance is action. It can't just be felt. We live here in 3D reality. We have bodies that we inhabit. Action is the language of the body and of this dimension. So when we take inspired action, and when we are in our heart center and feeling most connected with Source, only then can the outer reality reflect what we are feeling on the inside through inspiration. So, my opportunity and my offering to anybody is to merely breathe deeper. Take longer, slower breaths. You will find your nervous system relaxing and your ability to ask the question to the subconscious mind, such as, what would it be like to live in abundance? Well, from there, your subconscious mind will start to search for the answers of what would it be like to live in abundance. Remember, the subconscious mind never responds well to demands and orders, but through suggestion. When we ask the question and we let it permeate every cell in our body through the feeling, the experiencing of the bodily sensations, that indeed